As Ric Flair would say. How you doing, folks? Ron Raymond here from the Ram Report for a Tuesday, a Ruby Tuesday, August 16th. Hope you're having yourself a good start to your Ruby Tuesday. As always, don't forget, subscribe to our channel by tapping that notification bell in the top right-hand corner, or hit the subscribe button below this video if you are using a mobile device. Today's podcast is always brought to you by the Ram Report right here at ATSstats.com, and hopefully you are having yourself a great start to your day. I'm your host, Ron Raymond, a five-time champion handicapper based out of Ottawa, Ontario, Canada. It is a beautiful 22 degrees here in the nation's capital. Hopefully the sun is shining where you're at. Hopefully it's not raining L's, but mostly W's. And speaking of W's, wow, not a good look for the Mets last night. And I thought I saw Buck Showalter.
We just got our ass totally kicked. We couldn't do diddly poo offensively. We couldn't make a first down. We couldn't run the ball. We didn't try to run the ball. We couldn't complete a pass. We sucked. That was a disgraceful.
Okay, Buck Showalter, that was last night's press conference. Well, actually, it's not. It was Jim Moore a few years ago, but you get the gist of it, right? But yeah, you know what? Not a great night last night in baseball. I had the Mets as well with some of the bullpenners. I see you guys chatting there. But you know what? The day came up. It's another day that ends in Y, and why not get right back on the horse and get back to another winning day here at the Ram Report? And hopefully you guys had a good night. I saw the people in the Discord had a pretty good night, and hopefully the W's came in for you yesterday. Again, my name is Ron Raymond, and you are listening to the Breakfast Club Sports Betting Podcast, which you can see live here each and every day on our Discord, or not the Discord, on our YouTube channel, and also on the Apple Podcasts. I got to look more into the other podcasts like Spotify and iHeart, but we will get there eventually. And yeah, so also, don't forget to go meet people in the bullpen that you see every day. The ramblers and gamblers of the Ram Report, they are chatting away in the bullpen, which we call our chat box. And you can also find them in the Discord. And if you look on the Ram Report YouTube channel, you'll see a little Discord logo. If you click on it, or if you click on the description of today's show, wherever you're watching the show, I do have a link to our Discord. And once the show's over, everybody trots on over to the Discord, and we all talk about today's games. And hopefully we all share some information. And we got some great people over there. And you want to join us each and every day in the Discord over at the Ram Report. I forget what it's called. I think it's called the Bullpen or something like that. Hey, only part of it, but yeah, it's a good Discord. But hopefully you guys can join us each and every day. All right, I want to say good morning to John Peresco. I see Johnny's in the house. I see Brent Vienny, and I want to thank Brent for being part of the Breakfast Club. And folks, if you look at the chat box, you see anytime you sign up to the Ram Report, or you join the Breakfast Club, you do get a little star beside your name in the chat box. So I want to thank Brent for being part of the chat box here, or of the Breakfast Club And if you look below the video, you're gonna see a scrolling bar. Everybody who joins the Discord, they get a mention in the I call it the scroll of fame, and that's all our members right there. So everybody who supports the site, you can see them at the bottom of this video, that I put your name into the scroll of fame. And I want to thank you guys each and every day for supporting the site. And you know what, a good round of applause is in order for that. And if I can just find my applause button, there it is. And I want to thank you guys for supporting the site. All right, I see Bo Jackson's in the house. Hopefully Bo's in a good mood. I know his Blue Jays got rocked last night. We had the over, though. I did 1-1 last night. My free pick was the Toronto Blue Jays Baltimore game over, and I gave that yesterday. So hopefully you guys weren't on Toronto yesterday, and we'll talk about the Blue Jays in just a few bit. Ron B's in the house. There's Bam. The Ball Cash is in the house. And if you're a long-time member, you know that Bam is Ball Cash. So welcome to the show, Ball Cash. Boss Hogg's in the bullpen. Hey, driving the general car today there, Boss Hogg, 707. And yeah, so welcome to the show, everybody. And the Ram Report is a sports betting system that I built about 7 years ago, and I've been doing this since 1996. But when parity came into the like say the early 2000s, I say between 2004, where you saw the dynasty teams like the Oilers, Yankees, you know, owners couldn't really buy teams anymore. And now with sports betting, you're seeing more and more parity into the game. And the Ram Report is based on what you see right there on your screen: value, percentage play, performance cycles, player availability, and I use a very disciplined money management system, and I'll get to that today. But today on Ron's Rant, I'm going to talk about value, and I'm going to show you some charts, and I got a little Ron's Rant for you guys on the topic of value. And the number one rule of the show is number one rule here is to have fun. And as Rex Ryan would say,
can we have fun? You're damn right. I demand that we have fun.
And we do have a lot of fun here on the bullpen each and every day. Monday to Friday, 10:30 Eastern. You can join us here wherever you are located in the world, because we are worldwide. And we do have some friends in Lisbon, Portugal. We got friends in Germany. We got friends all over Finland when it's hockey season. So we do have a lot of friends here who watch the show on a daily basis. All right. That is the fundamentals of the Ram Report. And again, you can get the Ram Report each and every day at ATSstats.com, and part of the educational process right here, I'm gonna we started this at this year. It's the 10 commandments. The 10 commandments of sports betting, and we're going to update these each and every day. Right now we're up to 8. We're still looking for 2 more. So anybody who's got a golden rule of sports betting, please post it in the bullpen, or send me an email at ronraymond@atsstats.com. And if it makes the cut, then it goes to the jury here in the bullpen. Then the people will say if it's a yes or a no, and if it makes the cut, then it gets posted on the website. And number one rule of the 10 commandments is we never bet on C-type teams. And you know what? Before I get to the 10 commandments, I always got to give my little disclaimer of the show, because throughout the show, you're going to hear me say a lot about A, B, and C-type teams. A-type teams are teams with a 60 or higher win percentage. B-type teams are 50 to 59.9. And C-type teams, the teams that are your bottom dwellers, those are teams with a 49.9 or lower win percentage. And I as you see in the first rule, I don't bet on C-type teams. And then I follow performance cycles, right? And again, I say this each and every day on the show. Don't be a standings picker or better, and that means don't look at the standings and say, oh, I'm going to take Houston, I'm going to take the Dodgers, I'm going to take the Yankees, because those 3 teams I just mentioned, a perfect example on why you got to pick your spots and follow those teams through the cycles. In Major League Baseball, NHL, NBA, I follow teams on a 7-game cycles. Any team that is 7-0, 6-1, or 5-2 in their last 7 games, I call those teams bullish teams. Neutral teams are teams that are 3-4, 4-3 in their last 7, and bearish teams are 0-7, 1-6, and 2-5 in their last 7 games. All right, almost forgot my disclaimer right there, because every time we do the show, you're going to hear me say a lot about A, B, and C-type teams, and if they're going through a bullish, neutral, or bearish cycle, and then you'll be all confused, like, what is he talking about? And I can see right here, people, man, you guys are full of energy this morning in the bullpen. The one thing with doing a show and trying to keep an eye on the bullpen is you miss out on these great conversations sometimes, but we'll get to that in just a few minutes. But the 10 commandments again: never bet on C-type teams in the Rain Report. Only put beer and pizza money on those games or those teams. Never lay points. I'm not talking I'm talking in general, but I never lay points in spread sports. I take the money line or I take the points. And if you do that, you will have more fun betting on sports, and you will last longer, and your bankroll will see a big increase over the months. Never bet on double headers. Good example yesterday, Cleveland, Detroit, right? It's just there's too much going on that day, and that's why it's part of the 10 commandments right there. Follow a disciplined money management system, beer and money account, and then have your investment account. Those are things that I think that are really important to have when you're in sports betting. And the thing is, guys, if you want to have fun at sports betting, you have to have a disciplined money management system, because if you don't, well, you'll be like a CFL football offense, 2 and out, right? Never force a pick because you need action on the game. That's a golden rule right there. Never chase losing bets on a bad day. Learn to live another day. Bet with your wallet, not your heart. How many times you hear people say that? Only bet beer and pizza money if you do like those C-type on C-type crime. And let's be honest, can you really trust C-type teams? And yesterday, never bet. We added this one yesterday. Never bet on a C-type team that just made the B-type cut. And given so never bet on C-type teams that just made the B-type team jump. give that team time to mature into a B-type team. And I did a little research on that because that was our good friend Johnny Peresco who brought that up the other day. And I said, you know what, that's a good point, because here are some of the B-type teams, and some of these teams have been jumping in and out of the B club and the C club. And I'm talking about teams like the Chicago White Sox, Minnesota, not as much. Let me see, Cleveland, nope. Seattle, yep. Seattle's one of those teams. They were a C-type team. Let me see, Milwaukee, no. San Fran, yes. And so those are the teams that they were in a C club. Can we really trust them? And what I did is I went over to the chart here, and I went to July 15th, my database, my old faithful database, and I said, let's go back to July 15th. And let's take a look at these teams here today. And today I'm going to talk in Ron's rant, perception versus reality. You know, the perception is what the bookmaker and what the public thinks the line should be. The reality is the outcome of the game, right? And you cannot confuse perception versus reality, because in the middle lies the truth. And that's the caramel secret, where you want to get the truth, right? Looking at Toronto right now, and when I'm doing this exercise, and the one thing I love about doing this show is, it's not a show. I'm not like I always say, I'm not a talking head just giving you the weather report, right? I want you thinking. And as a football coach, I always tell our players, the biggest weakness of a defense is a player who's thinking. And if you're a football player out there and you've played at any level of football, you probably agree with me, right? When you're attacking the defense, and if you see players that are out there and they're thinking too much, that's a weakness you got to attack. And exactly, perception versus reality. And we're going to attack some of these teams here today in the B Club. Now, when I'm doing this exercise right now, and I mention a team, I want your first perception of that team right now, and you can post it in the bullpen if you're watching live, and if you're doing this exercise on our podcast, just have an instinct reaction when I talk about this team at this moment today for August 16. When I mention the Toronto Blue Jays, what's your reaction right away? Right? Hey, as where's
Struggling.
Joe Namath would say, yeah, they're struggling right now. But here's the thing. Even though they're a B-type team, they are 14-10 since July 15. What's your reaction of Baltimore, a B-type team? Can you trust them? I think you can. 15-11 since July 15. Tampa Bay. Now, here's the thing. Perception versus reality. When you're thinking of Tampa Bay right now, what's the first thing you're thinking of right now? You're thinking, oh, wow, Tampa Bay just beat the Yankees 4-0 last night, so they must be good, right? Well, you know what the reality is? They're 12-13 since July 15th. So be careful about perception versus reality when you're betting on these teams. In fact, Tampa Bay, one of the teams with a losing record in the last 30 days that are in the B club. Minnesota, 10-13. What's your reaction to Minnesota? My reaction when I think of the perception of Minnesota right now for August 16th, they had a rough trip on the West Coast, right? But last night, I think it was a 4-2 win last night for Minnesota. Chicago White Sox, they are 16-11 since July 15. Cleveland, the Guardians, pretty good, 18-10, one of the best teams in the B club since July 15. Seattle, 15-12. Philadelphia Phillies, what's your reaction right away? Well, 18-8, one of the best teams, the best team, in fact, in the last 30 days, along with Cleveland at 18-10, but they are 18-8. St. Louis, 14-7, 66%, is pretty good in my books. Milwaukee, what's your reaction to Milwaukee? If I say Milwaukee Brewers right now, what's your first perception thought? Well, if you said 11-13 the last 30 days, you are right. Tell them what they've won, Johnny. And San Francisco, 13-14 last 30 days, and they are a B-type team. So can you really trust San Fran and Milwaukee right now? Milwaukee's in tough against the Dodgers in this series. And then you got San Diego, 15-12 last 30 days. So, hey, you know what? Perception versus reality. And again, we're going back to the 10 Commandments and talking about those never bet on C-type teams that just made the B-type team cut, and I'll get to the A's and to the C teams when I go in Ron's rant, but I want to show you guys that and give you a little preview what's to come here today on the show. All right, before I get on to the next thing, I got some great news for you guys today. You guys recall last year, or was it the year before? I think it was the year before. We used to do a podcast, me and my friend Ross Benjamin. Well, I texted him last night, and I said, you know what, we'd love to have you come back on the show. People have been asking, and I keep slipping my mind. So last night I got a nice compliment from one of our users here, or the client, not clients, but visitors on the websites, and he said, hey, I'm a friend of Ross, would love to remember watching you guys. And I said, yeah, you know what, I'm going to text Ross to see if he'd be interested in coming back this year on the show. And great news, Ross Benjamin will be joining our show every Thursday to talk college football, NFL football. And if you guys know Ross, he is a mountain of information of a guy, and one of the really truly best guys in the industry, and one of the sharpest guys. In fact, when I wrote my book in 2009, Ross, I wrote in my book some of Ross's tips, and I've learned a lot from Ross when I first started in 1996. And then maybe that's how far maybe Ross doesn't want to hear that we're the old guys in the industry now. But I can't wait to have Ross on the show starting I'm going to text him. I don't know if it'll be this week or next week, but my good friend Ross Benjamin will be joining us every Thursday right here on the Breakfast Club. And man, I'm looking forward to that, because the one thing about when you really have a lot of respect for another handicapper or better, they make you think, right? They make you think, and then you can't always be right. And the thing when you're doing a show and you're like a Vince Scully type of podcaster, you're a one-man show type thing, you think you're right all the time, but you're not. And the thing with having somebody like Ross questioning you is some of the best things to do in personal growth, right? So I'm looking forward to that, and I really can't wait. And I know you guys are really going to enjoy it, Ross. All right, let's get to the next segment right here, and we're going to talk about the World Series of Handicapping season number 11. And yeah, you can win some straight cash or the World Series of Handicapping ring. And if you win the contest, you win the beautiful Baron Championship ring. And this is courtesy of the World Series of Handicapping. And if you want to sign up today, it's free. If it's free, it's for me. And it's one of the top contests that's been going on since I want to say 11 seasons. So what was that? We make 2009. So yeah, so it's one of the longest standing contests on the internet. Probably not on the in general, but yeah, if you want to sign up today, go to the World Series of Handicapping, and hopefully you guys will sign up today. And looking forward to that. And it's a great contest, and all you got to do is make 7 selections a week, sides or totals, rank those selections 7 units to 1 unit, and the player with the most amount of units at the end of the season will win the beautiful championship Baron's ring. And hopefully you guys will and again, I said it yesterday, if you are a handicapper or somebody in the industry and you're looking for instant credibility, win this contest and you will get instant credibility for sure. All right, let's get to the next segment. And as you know, we're always paying our respects to the horse racing industry. One minute to toast. Everybody rushing to the window right now. Hey, give me the 3. Then they're off and running today in Cincinnati at Belterra Park. First race today at Belterra is at 12:35 Eastern. It's 116 miles on the turf. It's a $12,500 maiden claiming race, and you can get the entire tip sheet for free today just by logging on to or typing in atsstats.com. In the menu, go to horses, and on horses, go to free tip sheet, and then you'll see in the pull down menu Belterra Park. And also we got premium tip sheets, so we're not a one trick pony. Hey-o. And you can get the entire tip sheet for free right here at atsstats.com. All right, I'm gonna read some of the I'm falling behind here on the message board, and I can see you guys are really going crazy right here. Okay, let me just scroll up a bit here. And there's my good friend Rui Pedro Nagaria, all the way from Lisbon, Portugal. And good morning, good afternoon, or good night for Rui. Hello, Raymond and everyone. Been studying for NBA, NHL. As you know, I don't invest on MLB. Don't touch where I don't understand. Soccer has been precious to me. Greetings from Portugal. Well, greetings, Rui Pedro Nagaria. In fact, my nieces are off to Portugal today. Hey, my nieces are out there. Maybe, they'll hopefully wish them a safe trip. And they're off to Lisbon. So a little, we're always connected in some way, right? Boss Hog, ATL, I guess he likes Atlanta tonight. TD's numbers 33 man says, good one, Brent. Very easy to get out too deep in the water before you realize there's an undertow, LOL. Yankees should win tonight. Cortez on the hill. I agree with you there, Scott. I'm going to talk about that in just a few minutes. And there she is.
Put that coffee down. Coffee's for closers only.
And Gloria K is a closer. Good morning, Gloria. And speaking of coffee, we do now have coffee mugs in the store. So if you want to order your Breakfast Club t-shirt or your new coffee mug, you can just by hitting the store on our YouTube channel link. Let me see here right now. Except Phillies gave up that homer and killed the run line. I said to myself that Syndergaard was a little too long in the bat before that happened. Should have taken the cash out offer. Yeah, maybe. My reactions to the Philly fans are interference, says Bo Jackson. Good morning, Breakfast Club crew, says Mitchell Watson. Good morning, Mitchell. And let me see here. Scott, Ron, in all your years of sports betting, what do you find the hardest sport to handicap? Great question. You know what? Parity. I think the hardest sport to handicap, and I know it's not a sport, but parity. And because I think every season is so different, it all depends on the parity in the leagues. And I think to give you a straight answer, I always try to find value in everywhere I'm wagering on. But I think every season, NBA, NHL, MLB, NFL, college, I would say college football. For me personally, everybody has their strengths and weaknesses. If I were to have a weakness, it's college football, because during that time I'm paying attention to NHL, NBA, CFL, NFL. So if there is a weakness that I do have, it's college football, and maybe that's why Ross Benjamin will come and strengthen my knowledge in college football. So if you missed at the top of the show, Ross Benjamin will be joining us every Thursday here on the Rain Report, and I'm looking forward to chatting with Ross again, because he's one of the good guys in the industry, and I always love Ross, talking with him. And you know what, Ross, down to earth guy, and you guys are going to absolutely love Ross Benjamin. And you can always visit his website or his YouTube channel as well. I think his site is rbwins.com. All right, let's get to the next thing on the agenda, and take it away, Norm Peterson.
It's a dog-eat-dog world, Sammy, and I'm wearing milk-bone underwear.
Yeah, it's a dog-eat-dog world, and we're going to look at the SBI, the Sports Betting Index, and let's take a look at what came in last night, if any underdogs came in. And you know what? 7-7, not a bad day for the underdogs. And if you look at the 7-day average, 61.7% of the favorites have cashed in the last 7 days. It's 2% higher on the season, as we are at 59%. The 1 month average, 61%. So favorites still taking the reign here, and I expect that. And I talked about that after the trade deadline. If you look at the trade deadline, that after every sports, favorites normally go on a tear, especially those A and B type favorites. For some reason, it's because they're the ones vying for the playoffs, right?
Playoffs? Don't talk about it. Playoffs? You kidding me? Playoffs?
Yeah, we're talking playoffs. All right, looking at the 7-day average in the over-unders, neutral market, 56.6% of the games have gone under the total. And if you look at the 3-day average, 65%. So you can see right here, the unders are cashing in big time the last 3 days. And there you have it. That is your SBI for Tuesday, August 16th. SBI stands for Sports Betting Index, and this is my Dow Jones Industrial when it comes to putting my finger on the pulse of the markets. All right, the next segments, we're going to take a look at the Bears and Bulls report, the A, B's, and C's.
A, B, C. A, always, B, B, C, closing. Always be closing. Always be closing.
Always be closing those tickets, because if you had a Mets ticket last night, you're not cashing in that ticket this morning, because as Buck Walter just told us about 3 minutes ago, we sure sucked last night. Looking at the A, B's, and C's, so let's take a look at the A's right now, the A-type teams in the RAM report. And what I do in this segment is I take a look, man, look at that, all the A-type teams. And I just finished talking about that, right? Since the trade deadline, the top dogs in all sports, they normally go on a run. And look at the Dodgers, Mets, Houston, Atlanta, all A-type teams in a bullish cycle. So the thing I'm going to recommend is that, and the thing, now here's the thing, you got the Mets playing the Braves, so you got two A-type teams that are bullish, and we saw last night that Atlanta took game number one, a 12-run win. There was 13-1, but a 12-run win over the Mets, and you got Taijuan Walker today against the old veteran Charlie Morton. But the Yankees, last 30 days, I talked about this in the perception versus reality segment of the show. The Yankees 10-17 since July 15th, so that's why they're bearish right now. Can you really trust the New York Yankees? And they're sending Nestor Cortez, the stash, tonight on the hill. I like the Yankees. It's mostly I like to play on the Nestor Cortez, but I'll get to that when we do the VPP, the value and percentage play. Looking at the B-type teams, you can see right now in the B-type teams, and we talked about perception versus reality. Can you trust the Toronto Blue Jays right now, Bo Jackson, and Minnesota, Isaiah? Hey, we got Isaiah from Minnesota. We got Bo from Toronto. Can you trust those B-type teams that are very bearish right now? And then if you look at the B-type teams that are bullish, Cleveland and Chicago. We just finished talking about the B-type teams, and right now those are your two bullish teams in the B club. And when you look at the C club, you got Miami, who's bearish, and you got the Halos, the LA Angels. They're the only bullish team, and that is your ABCs for today.
A, B, C. A, always B, B, C, closing. Always be closing. Always be closing.
Yeah, always be closing those winning tickets. And perception versus reality. Now that's sort of like the theme of the day today, and it's part of Ron's rant. And I think we're going to include a Ron's rant every day, and it's just a period where I just go on a rant and I talk about anything about sports handicapping, the situational handicapping. And this is part of the segment where I go to my value. So let's go back to the fundamentals of every time I do a show like this, and if you ever stuck doing a pick and you're just sitting there and you're on, 1 second you're taking the Mets, the next second you're taking the Braves, and then you're back and you're on one side of the fence, you're back on the other side of the fence. Always go back to your fundamentals. That's one of my golden rules. Maybe that should put that in the 10 commandments right there. Rule number 1 of the Raymond Report: is there value in my selection that I'm taking today? And I'm going to talk about now some value tools that you can use, right? Because when you think of value, you're saying to yourself, okay, Ron, how do I measure value? How do I know I have value in this play, right? And when you look at the VPP, and I'm going to bring it up right now, I'm going to show you one of the tools that I use each and every day. It's the number one thing. I call this the dominoes, right? You need that first domino to fall, and to me this is the first domino that I use. And if you look at the daily market VI right here, these are the line values of all the teams. Now when I go to the tools and I go to value report, and let's say I bring up the game. I'll bring up that Mets-Atlanta game just for today's example. So let me go over here and let me go to the Mets. Okay, so the Mets 145. Atlanta a minus 145. So I think the Mets are like 125. So when I go to my value report, I'm going to go to Major League Baseball. I'm going to hit on favorites, and I'm going to do the Atlanta Braves first. So in the Raymond Report, I always talk about A, B, and C type teams, right? You hear it sometimes on the sports announcers talk, that team does very well against team below 500. That team does well against the top teams in the league, right? So, and I'm a true believer, and I always use my football coaching hat when I'm thinking of handicapping. When I was coaching football, and especially at the higher levels, like at university, and we're playing, say, the best teams in Canada in football, right? It's like, okay, you know what? How do we normally do against those really good teams, right? Do we show up? Do we get blown out? Are we at that level? And that's the same type of mindset you got to have when you are handicapping sports. And when Atlanta's at home against those A-type teams in the Rain Report, and you can see right here, the New York Mets are an A-type team. Atlanta is normally a 140 favorite at home against those A-type teams. Now tonight, you can see Atlanta is minus 145. So you know what I call that? Fair market value. And the reason why I love there's three categories that I place when I'm looking at value. There could be an overvalue play, an undervalue play, and then fair market value. And to me, fair market value is like a good old Seinfeld episode, right? Even Steven. Because when you think of overvalue, now you start putting your guessing hat on, right? What does the bookmaker know that I don't know? How come this team is overvalued tonight? And I'll get to that in some of the few other matchups. And then there's undervalue, right? It's like, okay, why is this team undervalued? Why? And let's take a look at the New York Mets against A-type teams on the road, and the average is 127. They're plus 125. So you're getting the Mets at fair market value. You're getting Atlanta at fair market value. So from a standpoint between you and the bookmaker, market psychology. I always think, and I'm talking about perception versus reality, think of the market psychology between you and the bookmaker and the situation between the Mets and the Atlanta. Perception versus reality. I think we got a fair market play here tonight. So between me and the bookmaker, I think we've got a fair game to handicap right here. And that, to me, is one of the ways I handicap value, and I think it's a good tool to use. I give this analogy all the time. You want that 2-for-1 pizza for $5, or do you want that $40 deluxe? But you're getting a deluxe pizza, right? It's one of the analogies I always use when I'm talking about value. All right, let me see. Great morning, Breakfast Club. Coach OG's in the house. Give them the pearls, baby. Yeah, they come for the pearls. All right, what am I doing? Nice to have Breakfast Club piece back in the NFL season. Yeah, NFL will be preseason. We'll talk a little preseason tomorrow. Still a bit early. The one thing about podcasts, you got to talk. It's like an old Janet Jackson song, right? What have you done for me lately? And to me, talking about games that are in September brings no value today for August 16th. Hey, what have you done for me lately? And today is August 16th, so that's what's on the board, and that's what we're going to talk about. All right, so that's the perception versus reality. Now going back to my types of team chart over here, now looking at these type of teams, where's the value in these teams today, right? So when I look at these A-type teams, and I'm talking about the Yankees, Atlanta, Mets, Astros, and Los Angeles, when you think of these 5 teams, there's only one team right now where your perception is, I think I'm just going to cool off on this team, and that's the New York Yankees, right? 10-17. You know what the best team is? Obviously, it's a no-brainer, is the Dodgers. 22-4 since July 15. Houston 17-12. New York Mets 19-7. Atlanta 17-9. So when I look at these teams, it's just the Yankees that I would probably scale back my units if I do like them. But you know what? I will still bet the Yankees, even though they're 10-17 since July 15. You want to know why I'm still going to consider them? Because they're an A-type team, and normally those A-type teams, they will find a way to work their way out. An A-type team and a C-type team that have the going through a bear cycle, I'll put more trust in that A-type team to get out of it, right? Now, when I look at these C-type teams, I'm talking about the Boston Red Sox. Can you really trust the Boston Red Sox? Kansas City, Detroit, Oakland, Halos, LA Angels, Texas, Miami, Washington, Chicago Cubs, Pittsburgh, Cincinnati, Arizona, and Colorado. Can you really trust any of these teams? If of all these teams right now, let me know in the bullpen, which team can you trust right now of all those teams that I mentioned? And I'll give you guys a few seconds to, since we're on a little time delay here, it gives me a chance to get a little drink of water. Yeah, a little rain delay last night in that Atlanta game. Hey, threw it off. Every other game's in the 8th inning. There's Atlanta still in the 4th. All right, so of all these teams that I just mentioned, let me see. Boss Hog, let the public keep betting the Yankees. Yeah, exactly. Let the public still bet the Yankees and that overvalued pizza, right? But of all those teams that I talked about, what 2 teams can we trust right now in the C Club? And I'll tell you, here's the thing. The team with the worst record right now in the C Club that you don't want to really trust since July 15th, the Pittsburgh Pirates, 7-18. Miami 8-20, and Detroit 7-21. You know who the top 2 teams are? The top 2 teams, Stone Kid, the DTA. Don't trust anybody. Yeah, don't trust the C-type teams. Says.
And that's the bottom line, because Stone Cold said so.
Because Johnny Fresco said so. And yeah, the 2 teams that you can trust, well, with beer and pizza money, if you were to bet C on C-type crime, the Chicago Cubs, 13-11 since July 15. and Arizona Diamondbacks 14-12 since July 15th. And that, my friend, was Ron's rant, courtesy of Ron Raymond. All right, the next segment right here is so we talked about perception versus reality, and you know what? I forgot John's favorite soundbite.
Money never sleeps, pal. Just made 800,000 Hong Kong gold.
Yeah, made 800,000 on Hong Kong gold. So when you're betting today, think about the perception versus reality cards, and think of those B-type teams where all the value lies. And to me right now, the B-type teams that have the most value that I would be really considering, I'm going to name you a couple teams right now. The Cleveland Guardians, 18-10 since July 15th, and the Philadelphia Phillies, 18-8 since July 15th. Those are two teams right now in the B Club that are doing pretty well. All right, let's get to the next segment. And for all my fellow Canadians and the CFL fans worldwide, let's talk some CFL football for just a few minutes.
Cannot play with them. Cannot win with them. Cannot coach with them. Can't do it.
Yeah, but you can win with playmakers, Mike. And we do have some playmakers in the CFL. Week number 10 is in the books. We're going into week 11. And right now, so this is my playmaker chart, and I'll be doing this during the NFL season as well. And I'm going back to the dynasty years of the Dallas Cowboys. Remember those Troy Aikman, Emmitt Smith, and my favorite receiver, Michael Irvin, the triplets, right? Those were playmakers, even though Michael Irvin is the playmaker. But when I think of those years, and I got this from a buddy of mine, and he goes, when you have triplets on the team like the Dallas Cowboys have, and when you're handicapping sports, always look for those triplets, right? The top receivers, top quarterbacks, and the running backs of each team. And right now in the CFL, the team with 35 points is the Winnipeg Blue Bombers, even though they lost to Montreal this weekend. Zach Claros, Brady Oliveira, and Schoen right now, Dalton Schoen, are the top three players for the triplets for the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. And they got Matt Leggio, I think it's Matt Leggio, the kicker, for 35 points. The BC Lions, Nathan Rourke, man, here's a rookie second-year quarterback, Canadian, and you don't see too many Canadian quarterbacks in the CFL, but I think we got a special one here, Nathan Rourke, and who knows, if he can continue to lighten up and torching up defense, he might get a sniff down south, and you might see him play on Sundays in the NFL. Just saying, you never know. But I know Butler's injured right now, and Dominic Rhymes. Those are part of your triplets in BC. And finishing off the top three is Bo Levi Mitchell, the Calgary Stampeders, Kadeem Carey, and Malik of the Calgary Stampeders with 29 points. Those are your top three playmakers right now in the CFL. And folks, you can get the playmaker chart each and every day right here at atsstats.com.
Cannot play with them. Cannot win with them. Cannot coach with them. Can't do it.
Yeah, but you can play with these guys because they Chad. It reminds me of Chad Ochocinco, what he said last week. If you go on my Twitter feed, there's a great video of Chad Johnson talking about the CFL when he came up. He thought it was a joke. He came up to the CFL thinking, oh, this is gonna be a cake breeze, and he got here and he was like, holy crap, these guys are really, really good. And if you've watched CFL football, there's some talent in this league, and I know it's all about marketing, right? And I think that the CFL will do a better job marketing the league and the players. And if you watch it, give it, like last week, week 10, awesome football games. And just go look at that video of Chad Ochocinco talking about CFL players, and hopefully you'll have a different perception versus reality, right? The theme of the show today. And that's why the CFL football, hey, I grew up on it, so that's why I'll always be his biggest cheerleader. All right, Help me help you give out some winners today, and Super Bowl future picks. As you know, I'm on the Chargers at plus 1,100, LA Rams plus 1,200, Buffalo Bills plus 615, and Cincinnati plus 2,000. And those are my Super Bowl future prop. Put $10 on those teams, and hopefully, if you don't think the Chargers, Rams, Bills, and Cincinnati, one of those four teams won't be in the Super Bowl, well, and parity has really kicked butt in the NFL, right? All right, each and every day we all want winners.
I want winners,
and hopefully I can give give you some winners right now, but before I get to the winners, let me go and read the bullpen and see what everybody is saying right now. Let the public keep betting the Yankees. Yep, stone cold. The William Hill bookmakers are taking away a while getting their over-unders up today. Yeah, you know what? I don't use William Hill, so I do scour the internet for the lines, but Bet365 are pretty good with their lines. I got to give credit to Bet365. They get their lines up pretty quick, so I'm happy with that. Jasper C. Is it Jasper C or Jasper SI? We need a contest again. F stole my cutting board. Yeah, so John Presco has a little side gig there where he had these beautiful cutting board. I always forget to bring it up, but if anybody wants a beautiful cutting board, he gave me one last year with the Buffalo Bills logo on it. It's really beautiful. If you got a link there, John, just put up in the bullpen and let people check that out. CFL break time for me, says TDS. Numbers 33. Yeah, no problem. Enjoy your coffee. Hopefully you're drinking out of a Breakfast Club mug. The sound effects is hilarious, says Bo Jackson. Yeah, I've been working on my sound effect game, right? I think, again, when you're doing a show like this, you don't want to be like the weather guy or the news anchor. Yeah, Ron Burgundy. Yeah, I got the first name, but I'm no Ron Burgundy. But hey, I think you need a little bit of entertainment when you're doing these type of shows, and bringing these sound bites really adds to the quality of the show, right? Coach, let everyone know about the contest and where to sign up. Yeah, I'm still working on that contest, but it will be at the World Series of Handicapping.com website. And Peyton Sports Girl says, I love the William Hill app. They also send you debit cards so you can immediately transfer your winnings into the card from the app. Oh, that's nice. Never heard that. There's no charge for transfer. So let me see. If you want to cash out, they send you a debit card, and then you can just go and cash it out and spend it. That's not bad. That's pretty creative marketing right there. Yeah, I do like that. That's a good idea. All right, Peyton Boss Hog, Las Vegas. Every sportsbook has their app. Just go to Sportsbook and sign up, and you will like it. The Westgate has one. All right, so they do have it at the Westgate. Okay, the next segment of the show, we want winners, and this is the value and percentage play, and you can get this each and every day right here at ATSstats.com. Once you get to the website, go to MLB Daily VPP. Go to MLB, click on Game Matchups, and then you will get this chart right here. And I'm going to go through all the games here for you today, and then I will make my selections today at bullpenpicks.com, where my good friend Dom Magnum is absolutely crushing it. Hey Magnum, if you're listening, congrats. Man, you're really you're doing a really good job at bullpenpicks.com, and I'll show that to people in just 1 second. All right, we're gonna kick it off in Cincinnati today. You got Kyle Gibson going for the Phillies. He's 7-5 with a 4.95 ERA. They're coming off a 4-3 win over the Reds. I do like Philly in this one. You got San Diego. Can we trust San Diego right now? With Sean Manaea on the hill. He's only got 1 win in the last 4 starts. San Diego, Miami, this season, the under is 4-1, so something to consider. Remember yesterday I was talking about that Baltimore-Toronto game, 6-0. Well, put that 7-0 now to the over. But the one thing when you do these shows and you have a perfect stat like that, and you give it out and it wins, you just don't know if it's going to win the next day, right? Sean Manaea against Edward Cabrera. Cabrera got called up in August, 3-1 on the year at 2.05 ERA. Now, here's the thing. The total is 7 today in the game between the Padres and the Miami Marlins. Anytime the total is 7 for San Diego on the road, they are 7-1 straight up, where Miami is 4-8 at home. So what that tells me is that whenever you have a good pitching matchup, San Diego tends to win those matchups. Boston, you got Nick Pivetta going against Mitch Keller. You know what? Sometimes, again, can you really trust Boston right now? I know that the Pittsburgh Pirates are, as Joe Namath would say, struggling. They are struggling. They are bearish for 5 days. But here's the thing. They are coming off a 10-game road trip. And this season in Major League Baseball, home teams coming off a 10-game road trip, they are 12-7 straight straight up in their next game. Sometimes you got to take a flyer. Give me the Bucks today over the Boston Red Sox. You got the battle of the lefties, the Southpaws today in Washington. You got Justin Steele going against Patrick Corbin. Corbin 0-6 in the last 6 starts. And looking at the record versus the Southpaws this year, Chicago 6-11 on the road against the Southpaws. And for Washington, they are 6-13 against lefties. And I don't know this one here. I think I might just go with Chicago and my law of average series since Washington won. Remember yesterday I said, man, this game can go, I know it was Texas-Oakland, right? Yeah, but this game too, I was really on the fence on that one. But I'm going to go with the Cubbies today. New York Yankees taking on the Tampa Bay Rays. And man, the Yankees offense.
How about our offense? When are we going to put it together?
Yeah, when are we going to put that offense together in the Bronx? Cortez, the stash, going up against Jeffrey Springs today of the Tampa Bay Rays. He's 3-1 on the road with a 2.77 ERA. Cortez is 4-0 at home. That's one thing. You know what? Nestor Cortez at home, a 2.06 ERA. And the New York Yankees at home against those B-type teams in the Rain Report, they've won 80% of their games, 16-4. Now, take a deep breath, Yankee fan. They are an A-type team. You're facing the Tampa Bay Rays team who are 26-31 on the road. A small, even the Rain Report. Remember I said the Rain Report disciplined money management system will always protect you? Well, look at that. A big 0 right there for recommended units. So it's just a thought today on the Yankees, hey? Just a thought, an opinion. You got Baltimore taking on Toronto. You got Manoah against Kramer. And for the Baltimore Orioles, big win last night, 7-3. We had the over. That was my free play of the day. And Baltimore, 6-12 in Game 2 of a series this season on the road. 13-18 coming off a win. So, can you trust Baltimore coming off a win? But you're going up against a Toronto Blue Jays team who are struggling right now. But the good news is Toronto 12-6 in Game 2 of a series at home, 19-6 coming off a loss. I'm going to go with Manoah here today against Baltimore, but I'm not laying 235. Now, we talked about the perception versus reality and the value today. My line on this game, I had Toronto at -167. Look at the bookmaker. What is the bookmaker thinking right now, laying 235? If the bookmaker is saying, hey guys, if you want Toronto today, it's going to cost you. And I'm not giving you no discount. They're trying to rob you at 235. That's a couple of overvalued pizzas right there. But you know what? I like Toronto, but an opinion on the Blue Jays. Cleveland taking on Detroit. You got Hill against Zach Plesac. Plesac's 2-10 with a 4.32 ERA, and they're coming off a doubleheader yesterday where they split. And when Cleveland Guardians are at home and they're coming off a doubleheader, they are 5-1 straight up at home in their next game. Give me the Guardians with a deep breath, and I'll take Cleveland for I'm not laying 225 though. I'm not laying 225, but I'll put it up at bullpenpicks.com. All right, a little water time right now, and while I take some water, let Harry Carey take it away.
Hello again, everybody. Harry Carey from Wrigley Field on a beautiful day for baseball.
Thank you, Harry, and we'll get back to the show. And let's get back to the Mets and the Atlanta Braves. Taijuan Walker going up against the old veteran Charlie Morton today in Atlanta. You got Taijuan 10-3 with a 3.43 ERA. He's 6-2 on the road with a 3.38 ERA. Coming off a loss, the New York Mets this year, 14-5 straight up, 18-8 against division opponents. And here's the good news: if you do like the New York Mets, anytime a home team is coming off a 12-run win like Atlanta yesterday, home team's only 1-5 straight up in their next game. So any home team this year in Major League Baseball coming off a 12-run win, only 1-5. Give me the New York Mets. Hate going against Charlie Morton. I loved him when he was with Tampa Bay, but 0-2-3 in his last 5 starts. He hasn't had a win in a while, so I'm gonna go with the Mets. Meet the Mets. Kansas City taking on Minnesota. You got a really good pitching matchup right here. You got Zach Greinke going up against Sonny Gray of the Minnesota Twins. Now, Greinke, not a really good road pitcher. 0-5 this year, a 7.16 ERA, so he gets lit up like a Christmas tree on the road. And then you got Sonny Gray, 6-3 this year, 3.3 ERA. Give me Minnesota with another deep breath. And Bears to, again, Minnesota overvalued. I have them listed here at minus 177, and you got minus 200. Overvalued today at Target Field. Colorado taking on the St. Louis Cardinals. You got Jose Quintana going up against Freeland today of the Rockies. And for the St. Louis Cardinals, they are 12-5 straight up last 45 days at home. Give me St. Louis in this one. Texas taking on Oakland, and nothing really is right home about here, but I'm going to take the Rangers at minus 160. Great pitching matchup today in at Guaranteed Rate Field in Chicago. You got Justin Verlander with his 15-3 record, a 1.85 ERA. Think about this. When you look at all the pitchers in Major League Baseball this year, how many have double-digit wins? Something to research. Well, Dylan Cease has double-digit win. He's 12-5 with a 1.96 ERA. This is going to be the game of the night to watch. Again, perception versus reality. I just talked about two great pitchers. What's your perception? Maybe the under. And trust me, that's the way the bookmaker's thinking. So you don't want to touch the under in this one. And I know the under is at 7. Watch it go down to 6.5 because all the betting public will be betting this one. And when the total is 7 for the White Sox at home this year, they are 0-2 straight up. While Verlander and the Houston Astros, anytime the total 7, they're only 5-3 on the road this year, but they are 13-6 coming off a loss on the road. Give me Houston, give me Verlander, give me the vet in Chicago. The South Side, not the North Side. Hey, we don't care about the North Side this year. Well, the South Side either, but yeah, give me Houston in this one. The Brew Crew taking on the LA Dodgers today. You got Pepio going up against the Brandon Woodruff. Now, looking at the Dodgers, can you believe the Dodgers only been an underdog twice this year? They're 1-1 in that role. Value play. I'm going to go to value play here today. I'm going to take Milwaukee. Deep breath time. I'm going to go with Milwaukee. They got a 55.5% chance of winning this season. Anytime they're a home favorite, of pick them to 120. They are 5-4. And what goes up must come down. Even though the Dodgers did win 4-0 yesterday, 9-1 in the last 10. You know, they can't win. They're not gonna blow out everybody every day, right? Sometimes the analytics be all. You can look at all the analytics, and if it's not there, sometimes you got to go with your sports gut and the value play. I'm gonna go with value here in this one, and even though they're undervalued, I had Milwaukee at minus 137, and the bookmakers got 120, so a $17 discount today. Give me the Brew Crew, and as Stone Cold would say.
And that's the bottom line, because Stone Cold said so.
Yeah, Stone Cold says to Milwaukee. All right, you got Robbie Ray against Suarez today of the Halos. I'm going to go with Seattle in this one. That game was 2-2 last night in the late innings, and then I wake up this morning and I see 6-2. I fought that one off. You ever go to bed late and you say, man, 2-2, 8th inning? Come on, Ron, you can do it. You can stay up for the other, the 9th inning and the extra innings. Nope, not when you're over 50. I tell you, it's tough to stay up those nights, right? I'm sure people will agree with me there. All right, then the last game on the board, you got Merrill Kelly up against Jacob Junis of the San Francisco Giants. Merrill Kelly, 7-1 on the road this year, a 2.79 ERA, and San Francisco, even though, can we trust San Francisco now that they're, like John Presco says, right? They were a C-type team. Can you trust those C-type teams that made the B-type teams? I don't, and I'm going to take Arizona, and that, my friends, is the VPP, the value and percentage play, and hopefully we can give you some winners.
I want winners.
And hopefully those are winners. All right, what do we got next on the show right here? It's the sports betting options, and yeah. All right, so we're going to talk about the sports betting options, and this is the segment where I built this chart last year, and I got the idea, the concept from CoinMarketCap. You know, when you go to CoinMarketCap, you can see all the crypto prices and all the history, and I said, I need, that's a great chart. I need something like that that gives me options. And yesterday, remember the top 3 option plays were Tampa Bay, what was the other one? There was Tampa Bay, Chicago White Sox, and there was another one, I can't remember. It was Milwaukee. Hey, 2 out of 3 ain't bad. A good Meatloaf song right there. And I thought, hey, this is why I love this chart. And a lot of people loved it. I get a lot of good feedback from our members saying, man, this top 25 chart, when I look at the teams, and if they're A and B type teams, they do pretty well. And the thing is, it's like a power rating structured type chart. But the thing is, it goes and it ranks teams through the cycles. Because if I were to just do the favorites and the records, it'd always be the Dodgers, Yankees, well, not the Yankees now, maybe, Houston, Atlanta, all the top dogs, all those A-type teams, right? So the number 5, we'll work our way backwards today. Baltimore is your 5th place option today against Toronto. They're neutral 3 days. And against those B-type teams, they got a 49% win percentage. And their strength of schedule is, it's so-so at 43%. And but the bad news is they're 27-34 on the road, and I've only got them at winning at a 28.1% chance. But again, just the facts, man. I'm just giving you the facts. San Diego taking on Miami. They are coming in at number 4 betting option here today. Only neutral 4 days, and against those C-type teams, they do have a winning percentage of 59%. You got Sean Monet on the hill. I do like this. I do like San Diego here today. Milwaukee taking on the Dodgers. Sometimes you got to take a flyer, right? And I think Milwaukee's a good pick right here. And against those A-type teams, not that great, 39%, but we are giving them a 55.5% chance of winning today at Miller Park. Colorado taking on St. Louis at, I don't know if it's still called Busch Stadium. If it is, well, it's Busch Stadium. Colorado, a C-type team, they come in at number 2, neutral 7 days, and against those C-type teams, a 47% win percentage, which is the best of all 3 categories. The last 3 games I've gone under for the Rockies, and on the road this year, as Joe Namath would say,
Struggling.
18-36 on the road, and they have a 32% chance of winning. And your number 1 sports betting option today is the Tampa Bay Rays against the Yankees, neutral 13 days, and they are against A-type teams. They've won 43% of those games. Their strength of schedule is 43% the last 7 games, but the bad news is they're 26-31 on the road, and we're only giving them a 35.9% chance of winning. But you say you got a chance, and those, my friends, are the top 5 sports betting options for Tuesday, August 16th. All right, the next part of the show is one of my favorite parts.
Show me the money!
Show you the money, and let's get to bullpenpicks.com, where I make my daily baseball picks. Hey, it's because I still got that basketball game in my head from Sunday. The CEBL, again, another shout out to all the teams in the CEBL. We had a great finals here in Ottawa on Sunday. You had the Hamilton Honey Badgers beat the Scarborough Shooting Stars 90-88. What a game. And man, I love this league. I saw yesterday Guelph now is going to Calgary, so the Calgary, get ready. The CBL is coming to a town near you or arena near you, and you're gonna love the CEBL basketball league. It's the top level basketball in Canada for a league, and it's really good. It's a really good league. All right, let's get to the most top pickers here at bullpenpicks.com, and let's take a look. Let me see here, top scorers. Yeah, let's go to our top scorers, and there's my good friend Dom. He is absolutely crushing it, folks. If you're a member right now at bullpenpicks.com, you want to follow Dom, Magnums, Art55, and myself, because we do have a winning record. We're the top pickers right now at bullpenpicks.com, and you can see Dom went 10-3 yesterday. Hey, good job, Dom, right there. 10-3. That's fantastic. That deserves a round of applause right there. I had a bad night. Hey, I had a bad night.
We just got our ass totally kicked. We couldn't do diddly poo offensively. We couldn't make a first down. We couldn't run the ball. We didn't try to run the ball. We couldn't complete a pass. We sucked.
Yeah, that was me. We sucked last night, 4-9, and then Art 55 went 7-6. So hey, you know what? The sun came up. It's another day. It ends in Y. Why not make today's picks for a Tuesday, August 16th? All right, let's kick it off in Cincinnati. And again, I'm going to take Philadelphia. I'm going to go 55%. I'm going to go, if I can get there, 55. I'm going to go with San Diego. I took Miami yesterday, but I'm going to go with Sean Monet on the hill at 55%. Deep breath, people. Deep breath. Yankees, 53%. I'm going to back up Nestor Cortez in this one. I'm going to go with the Bucks, 53%. Not a big one right there. It's mostly a play against Nick Pivetta. I'm going to go with the, hey, here's one thing. I'm going to go with a lefty in this one, but the lefty on the road. I'm going to go 54% with the Cubbies. I'm going to take Alex Manoah today. I like the bounce back factor for the Blue Jays, 57%. Maybe it's a little bit of Canadian in me backing him up. Hey, little Patriot love right there for my Blue Jays. Zach Plesac against Detroit. Can't trust him. Can't trust the Tigers. Tigers 4-23 against B-type teams. I'm going to go, you know what? I really like Cleveland. Cleveland, one of the best B-type teams in the last 30 days. I'm going to go with Taijuan Walker, 53%. I'm going to go with Sonny Gray. I'm going to go against that 7 ERA of Zach Greinke, 7.16. I'm going to go, not that crazy though, 55%. I'm going to take the Cards at 56%. I'm going to go with Texas today at 51%. I'm going to go with Justin Verlander. Man, he's, you know, anytime your name is mentioned in the Cy Young conversation, you gotta expect he's going to pitch a gem, right? I'm going to go with the underdog in this one, 55% on the Brew Crew against the Dodgers. You know what? Hey, again, you're facing Pepio, is not one of the big rotation guys. So give me Brandon Woodruff today. I'm going to go Robbie Ray, the lefty, against Jose Suarez, and I'm going to go Merrill Kelly. Merrill Kelly at 56% against the Giants, and I'm going to save those picks. And if you want to follow my picks, all you got to do is go to bullpenpicks.com and go to Ron Raymond, follow my picks, go to your following page, and then you will see my selections each and every day right here at bullpenpicks.com. And like they say, apple a day keeps the doctor away, but one pick a day, hopefully your bookmaker keeps paying you. And you can see that Ray 9 right now is the leader at streetcatcher.com. And if you want to follow Ray 9 right now, you can, and all you got to do is go to streetcatcher.com. All right, everybody loves this part of the show about the 80% Club, and you can find the 80% Club, the fun facts, each and every day right here at atsstats.com. And let's start with some fun in St. Louis with the Chicago Cubs. They're 12-1 as a 140-160 road favorite, coming off a one-run loss the last 6 years for 92%. The Brew Crew, hey, remember I said the Brew Crew? Hey, you never know, right? You got to take a chance. They are 12-1 as a pick in the 120 home favorite, coming off a 2-game losing streak the last 7 years for 92.3%. The over is 12-1 for the Oakland Athletics as a 120-140 road underdog, coming off an under the last 5 years. And the under is 11-1 for the Tigers as a 180-200 road underdog, playing the month of August, the last 5 seasons. And let me see, let's try to finish on a high note right here. Oh, here's a perfect stat. Hey, this is a mic drop off right here. Anytime the Kansas City Royals are a 160-180 road underdog, playing the month of August, the last 3 years, 10-0-1 to the under. So the under is a pretty good one right there. All right, hey, that was man, that was a lot of fun. That was, how long did this go? An hour? One time flies when you're having fun here on the Rain Report, right? But hey, I want to thank you guys each and every day for tuning in to the Breakfast Club Sports Betting Podcast. And before I go, I see Bo Jackson says Shooting Stars got robbed. You know what? I'm not going to disagree with you, Bo, because I thought that was a bogus call by the ref on that foul. I think it was Harris, but there was no way. When you're in a championship game, you call murder on fouls. You don't hand the other team an opportunity on a ticky-tack play call. I agree with you, Bo. I think the Shooting Stars, man, they a lot of respect for what they did. They were down by 20 and they came back, made a game. But yeah, 100%, you got my respect right there. Don't forget, trends are your friends. Yeah, we did that. Can't trust Plesac. Can't do it, as Mike Singletary would say. Hey,
Cannot play with them. Cannot win with them. Cannot coach with them. Can't do it.
Yeah, can't do it. He's talking about Zach Plesac. Can't do it. Learning the Brew Crew, Rays, and leaning on the Brew Crew, the Rays, and the White Sox, says Nico Kelly. Good luck, everyone, putting in your picks at the Discord. Yeah, don't forget, folks, you can follow my plays and along with, not just me, but everybody else, all the clubbers right there in the Discord. My favorite segment on the show, let's get some pearls. I've got to run, save my pearls in the Discord. All right. Hey, I got to run too. This was a great show. Again, don't forget to subscribe to our channel. If you enjoyed today's show, hit that like button. And as my good friend Harry Carey would say,
Hello again, everybody. Harry Carey from Wrigley Field on a beautiful day for baseball.
To be the man, you've got to beat the man.
So all the Chiefs owns. I don't know.
Struggling.
Can we have fun? You're damn right. I demand that we have fun.
Put that coffee down. Coffee's for closers only.
Great cash, homie.
Holy cow!
It's a dog-eat-dog world, Sammy, and I'm wearing milk-bone underwear.
What the hell's going on out here? Woo! If you smell what the Rock is cooking.
That's the bottom line, because Stone Cold said so.
Let's go to eat a goddamn snack.
Now, if you want to crown them, then crown their ass.